You're listening to The Sports Moment,
June 6th, 2024.
part of the Sports Moments and Memories with Craig Olson podcast. Be sure to like and subscribe so you never miss a sports moment. Sponsored by Pemberton Law and Lake Area Docks and Lifts.
Lake Area Docks and Lifts, more than just docks and lifts. Lake Area Docks and Lifts.
Today is day 3 of the NJCAA Division III National Golf Championship Tournament in Chautauqua, New York, where the Spartans are competing, and it's day 1 of the state track and field meet at St. Michael Albertville High School. So lots of local athletes competing in their respective sports today around the country. For the Spartan golf team, how about Aaliyah Soidara? She shot a second-round 79, and that gives her a two-shot lead with a two-day total of 160 at the Division III National Women's Golf Tournament in Chautauqua, New York. Soidara had 4 birdies on her round, including her first and final holes of the day, and she has a two-shot lead over Ivy Burnett of the College of DuPage. Now, Soidara was All-American last year with a 4th-place finish as a freshman, and she is in position now to challenge for the championship, the individual title in Division III golf. For the Spartan men, they shot a team total of 328 yesterday, which kept them in the number 5 position in the team competition. Sandhills Community College, the 3-time defending champion, came in with a 280 yesterday. So that gave them a 571 total over 2 days and a commanding 20-stroke lead over Georgia Military College, the number 2 team in the standings. The Spartans right now are just 4 strokes out of 4th place. So their goal heading into this tournament was a top 5 finish, and they are in great position to finish either 4th or 5th in the competition. Yesterday, Riley Strumlin led the way. He shot a 78, great improvement after the first day where he shot a 90. And then you had Adam Vatnsdal with an 83, and that ties him with Charlie Feuder with his 162 two-day total for 27th place. Charlie shot an 82 to go along with an 80 on the first day. And Brock Thompson came in with an 85 after an 80 on day 1, so he is in a tie for 37th place overall. So round 3 today, and then round 4, the final round of the tournament tomorrow in Chautauqua, New York. Of course, so one of our sponsors on our podcast is the Pemberton Law Office, and you can visit them in their 4 locations around the area, the Fergus Falls office on North Mill Street, the Wadena office on Colfax Avenue, the Detroit Lakes office on Washington Avenue, and the Alexandria office on 22nd Avenue West. Or you can visit the Pemberton Law Firm online at pemlaw.com. Pemberton Law carries a legacy of trustworthy and reputable legal representation that dates back to 1883. Lake Area Docks and Lifts offers premium waterfront equipment sales, service, and installation. Best quality and service at the best prices. Just ask your neighbor at the lake about Lake Area Docks and Lifts.
Lake Area Docks and Lifts, more than just docks and lifts. Lake Area Docks and Lifts.
Well, it is day 1 of the state track and field meet at St. Michael Albertville High School, and it goes through Saturday. Today it's the girls and boys Class A prelims and the AAA prelims. And then tomorrow it's the Class AA prelims and the finals in the Class A competition also tomorrow. So number of area athletes competing today. Lucia Wales from Ashby, Brandon, Evansville is competing in the prelims in both of the hurdle events on the girls' side. and also Ava Fallingstead from Barnesville in the 100-meter hurdles, and Lindsay Rotz from Barnesville is in the 800-meter run and the 1,600-meter run. Megan Guler of Pelican Rapids competing in the sprint events, the 100 and the 200. And on the boys' side, Charlie Larson of Pelican Rapids is competing in the 800 and the 1,600, and the Vikings have their 4x4 relay team involved as well. And Rothsay has Matthew Danielson competing in the 110-meter hurdle event today. In the field events, Lucia Wales of Ashby Brandon Evansville, Ava Fallingstead of Barnesville, and Kinley Borman of Otter Tail Central are all in the Class A long jump competition today, the finals. And Maisha Antoni of Otter Tail Central, Tarina Blasick from West Central area, and Grace Backstrom of Pelican Rapids are all competing in the high jump finals today. And in the discus, Ellie Welch of Pelican Rapids is competing. On the boys' side, Mason DeLugie of Otter Tail Central is in the triple jump finals. And in the shot put today, Justin Jacobson of Pelican Rapids will be competing in the finals. Now, the Fergus Falls Otters are going to be among the teams competing tomorrow in the Class 2A track and field meet and the preliminary events. And I was able to catch up with some of the qualifiers, including Jaden Miller, who's going to be running in the boys 800 tomorrow. And we talked about the very competitive state field that he will be going up against.
Yeah, definitely. The 800 is very competitive, especially at that state level. Class AA is not a joke for competition. And for times, we're going to see anywhere from like a 154, 800 to, 2 flat. Which is excessively competitive. And for me, I'm ranked about 4th with that 158. And that's, I'm pretty confident going into the race. And I'm going to hope to make finals. And that'll be ran on Saturday.
So talk about the section race. Did it all come together really well for you? Did your race plan play out the way you had hoped?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I kind of went in there with the game plan to stay in front, be in front. I was ranked first, and that's how the race ended up being. I was in front the whole time. I did get pressured a little bit about halfway through, but I ended up just pulling it together that last lap and keeping it together to get the win.
And overall, Jaden says he's satisfied with the Otters season, both individually and as the team.
Last year, I guess my goal was to make it to state, and this year I want to do a little bit better individually. So whether that's making finals or getting on the podium, but overall as a whole team, I set a few goals, and one of them being breaking the 4x8 record, which we accomplished. Very proud of that. Very proud of the guys putting in the training and the hard work there. It was just awesome. Probably my favorite moment in track, and I'm glad I got to experience that. But pretty satisfied, but the job certainly isn't done yet.
The Otters also have 2 relay teams on the girls' side competing in the prelims on Friday, and Alexis Wellman is one of the members of the 4x800-meter relay team, along with Carson Lill, Cassie Wellman, and Estee Versteeg. And I talked with Alexis about the confidence level that this team has.
We were pretty confident in our abilities to make the state qualifying time, but it was still just kind of an unknown for me personally because we'd never run that relay together, and you never know what's going to happen in a sections race.
So how did that race play out? Did you guys start out well, or did you have to make up ground?
We had an amazing start, and everyone performed, I think, the best they could have in that situation. So I'd say we had an amazing start and amazing finish, so yeah.
So tell me about the makeup of this relay team. What are the strengths of the individuals who run this?
Well, Cassie and Estee are amazing runners in general, and both of them can pull an amazing time out of nowhere. And Carson is an amazing runner as well. She is very consistent with her splits, even though she is a 7th grader. And I have been steadily improving my time by dropping consistently throughout the season.
That's Alexis Wellman, one of the members of the 4x800 relay team that is competing at state for the Otters. And Mayah is one of the 4 representatives on the 4x100 relay team, which set a new school record by placing in the section meet with a time of 50.23 seconds. And Mayah has Rachel DeBrito, Siri Smestead, and Ruby Ellison as her teammates on that relay. And I visited with Mayah about the record-setting relay team, which actually was running as a group for the very first time in competition.
That was the first time we'd ever ran that relay with the people that were in it, and we had just changed it because we knew that Ruby, the new addition, would be so fast. And we ran it in practice the day before, and we got a 51.64, but we dropped a whole 1.5 seconds at sections, and so it really wasn't in our sights. My mom actually was talking to a friend, and she was saying they're going to need a miracle if they're going to make it to state, and it happened, so here we are.
Well, having done that with the first time you ran as a team, there's room for improvement, I would guess. How confident are you guys that you can go into state and place?
I mean, with the 4x1, there's really no room for error. So there's so many possibilities for other teams to maybe slip up, drop a baton. Although we have the same possibility to do that, I think we're getting it down, and we've been practicing a lot. And so I think there's definitely a possibility that we can go.
You run the third leg of the relay. Tell us about that leg. What are you thinking as you're waiting for that baton, and what are you looking at to see where you're at in the race?
Yeah, so I'm just watching Siri Smestead, our second leg, just watching her to see when she passes the tennis ball, and that's when I go. And then, yeah, I'm just thinking about how can I make this fast. I need to lean. I need to make sure that I yell loud enough for Rachel to hear me, who's the anchor, and so lots of things going through my head.
Mayah of the Otter 4x100 record-setting relay team. It's going to be fun to see how all of the area athletes come through the state tournament competition over the next 3 days, and we'll report on day 1 tomorrow on our podcast. How about Cheryl Reeve? Now, Cheryl Reeve has been coaching the Lynx for a long time, and she is now the second winningest coach as far as regular season victories go in WNBA history, behind Mike Thibault, who is first with 379 wins. Well, last night, Cheryl Reeve passed Bill Lambier into second place as the Lynx handed her 307th regular season victory when they won in Los Angeles, beating the Sparks 86-62. Nafisa Collier had 25 points and 9 rebounds to lead the way for the Lynx, who are now 7-2, riding a 3-game winning streak and leading Las Vegas and Seattle by 1 game in the very tough Western Conference. The Twins can't figure out the Yankees, and that's kind of the way it's been over the last several years. And the Yankees won last night 9-5. Aaron Judge drove in 5 runs. Carlos Rodon retired the first 16 batters that he faced. And the Yankees have matched their longest winning streak of the season at 7 games. They've won 18 of their last 22. They are tied with Philadelphia for the best record in the major leagues at 44-19. And they will now try to sweep the Twins when they give the ball to Marcus Stroman tonight. Stroman is 3-0 in his last 4 starts. His ERA is .273 on the season. He is 5-2 overall. And he'll pitch against Pablo Lopez, who's coming off one of his best starts of the season. Lopez is 5-5 with a .484 ERA. The highlight last night, Royce Lewis homered again. Back-to-back games since he came off the injured list. The Twins will hope to salvage 1 game in this 3-game series. They are 2-3 on their current 9-game road trip, which concludes with 3 games over the weekend against the Pirates in Pittsburgh. And that'll do it for our podcast today. Be sure to check out part 2 of our Otter Hockey History podcast. And we appreciate you stopping by.
You've been listening to The Sports Moment with Craig Olson. Sponsored by Pemberton Law and Lake Area Docks and Lifts. Produced by Sunroom Lab. Music by Blue Red Roses. Subscribe wherever you get your podcasts, and thanks for listening.